What is up, YouTube? This is Aaron Stone 800 here, and today I'm at Gamescape in Tallahassee, Florida with
James. What's up?
And today he's doing his Bermuda deck profile, so I'm handing it over to him to begin his deck profile. So enjoy the video.
Alright. First things first, I start off with 2 starters for the deck. Now, first, I didn't really have any expectations for this deck. I was just creating it because I love Bermuda Triangles. But I've actually been getting some good tips about the deck and how to update it. I'm actually going to be updating this card later and having 2 of her in the deck. But basically, the reason why I have her in the deck, especially for my starter, is because of her effect. I can actually put this card into my soul, and I can add any up to 4 copies of the same card that's on the field back to my hand, and that's actually a good effect. I actually like it, especially from the way the deck works. And the other reason why I have her in the deck is because I was going for a yin yang thing when it came to the deck, black and white. Plus, I also like her effect too, so I'm thinking I add her in later, and I get her colored white. So those are my starters, grade 0s, and now we get to the triggers. So first up, I run 8 crits when it comes to this deck. I don't like stand triggers for this deck because what's the point? They're not going to be standing because they're going to be bounce back to the hand. So what's the point? So I run 4 crits. Now these crits are a little bit different when it comes to this kind of deck. They're not, yes, this one is a dual card, but this one isn't. But it's not much of a big issue because I'm not going to be bouncing her anyway. Then we run standard 4 heal triggers. And technically I could run a dual heal trigger, but the reason why I have her here is because, for one, she was cheap, and 2, I like the artwork. I mean, come on, how can you not like this? Anyone who doesn't like it can go drown in an ocean. And 2 dual morning charming Lilipin. I'm pretty sure I didn't say the names, but whatever. 4 draw triggers. And the reason why I even have draw triggers instead of going all the way crit is because draw power helps too. And it actually helps me get into my other cards, especially if I need her to get my legions off. Yes, this is your legion deck. Whoever has a problem with it, come talk to me. If you do, that's your consequence. Now let's get to the grade 1 lineup. I run 4 dual afternoon tea party Piranha. I'm sorry if I might have messed that name up. I'm actually going to be getting another one of her, but it's going to be black this time because, of course, yin yang thing for later. And also, when this card attacks, if I have a Vanguard with dual in its card name, it gets plus 3,000 power until the end of the battle. So technically that's good for starting off, but I usually don't use her at the start of the battle, even if I have her in my hand. I mostly use her for a booster. Next up, we have 4 dual Dream Idol main, and as you can see, they're both different colors. I questioned why I even got her, because even though she's a dual card, her effect is kind of messed up because it doesn't really help out in the deck because I would need a Pacifica card to go with it. And unfortunately, this deck doesn't have Pacifica, so I'm going to actually change this cards out and get like a duo, a duo Perfect Guard, because I'm technically going to need Perfect Guards for this deck anyway. And last lineup in grade 1s is Dual Beast Iralulu. And the main reason why I definitely run her in this deck is because of her effect. When this card is placed on the rear guard, if I have a Vanguard with dual in its card name, choose up to 4 of my Dual Beast Iralulu cards, and those cards get plus 2,000 power. So basically, if I have her on the field, I activate my Legion's skill. I can add her back to my hand, add 2 of her from my deck to my hand, get those 3 out on the field. She gains power boost from these 2, she gains a power boost from these 2, and she gains a power boost from these 2. Hello, 11,000 power right there. So the Vanguard can get more power and some more damage going on. So yes, that's another reason why I even add her in. And she's going to be white later on, I promise you that. No racist comments. Okay, now we move on to the grade 2s. For starters, I run 3 Duo White Crystal Rekka. I think I'm gonna actually change that later. But the reason why I'm using her is because when this unit is returned to the hand from the rear circle, if I have a Bermuda Triangle Vanguard, I can soul charge 1 and choose a card from the damage zone and turn it face up. I love that especially because if I have my Legion on the field, I use her effect to get them back into my hand. I use her effect to counterblast 2, search out 2 more copies of her. If I wound up bouncing 2 of her back to my hand, or basically I could use her effect, bounce these cards. If I have 2 of them on my field, I already used her effect, bounce them to my hand, use their effect, unflip the other 2. Hello, that works for me, and I can still, sooner or later, use her skill with Legion. So technically, in all reality, that's not bad. Her, I technically didn't read her effect carefully. Duo, Blue Marine, Chestia, Thomas. Now, the only reason why I even got her, I didn't read her effect, but the reason why I got her is she has the word Marine in it. You'll have to forgive me, but I am a huge Marine fan. But anyone who has an objective, fight me, okay? But she's not a bad card either. I mean, I've read her effect. She's actually kind of good, but I think I'm going to change her out later for someone else. But I'm going to still play test with her more, see how well she works. And the last lineup, actually no, not even close. 2 Toy Box main. Technically they are useful for the deck, but I thought the most they've been doing is helping me defend. That's all I've been really doing with them. I need to play test with them a little bit more before I make any final decisions when it comes to them. Plus, of course, like I said, yin yang thing. That's another reason. And the last grade 2 lineup, of course, how can you have a Legion deck without the mate? Try to have a Legion deck without the mate. I dare you. See what happens. Watch you not win. And another reason, I like her effect. Plus, she keeps the yin. Plus, her and her little Legion mate, the grade 3, actually keep the yin yang going for me in the deck. That's another reason why I like her. I think I might paint her. Nah, I'm not. I'm not. Not going to do that. Okay, so now for the grade 3 lineup. 4 Duo Lovely Contier. Y'all will have to forgive me if I don't say her name properly. Contier Celine blah blah blah. Just leave a comment below if I messed it up. Pretty sure I did. But I run 4 of her mainly because I know some of you are probably going to comment on this video, which I recommend you don't if you're going to comment about this. I mean, if there's any objections to me running this card in the deck, like I said, come talk to me, but bite me in the process. The reason why I run her is because of her effect. Because technically, since I run a Legion deck, this is actually kind of good because I can discard a card and she gains plus 5,000 power. Even though the 5,000 power is good, but the fact that I'm discarding, meaning when I finally get her out, I can get ready to Legion because I'll have some cards in my damage zone by the time I get ready to Legion. That's another reason why I like her effect.
You mean drop zone?
Yeah, the drop zone. I know I messed that up somewhere. So yeah, that's another reason. Besides, 5,000 power isn't too bad, even though triggers are better too. Plus, like I said before, how many times do I have to say it, people? Yin Yang thing, don't like it, deal with it. This ain't your deck. And last, grade 3, is of course the Legion grade 3 mate. Duo Lovely Angel Nemel. And I really do love this card. Because not only do I get the Soul Blast 1, add a card back to my hand, and Counterblast 2, search for a copy of the card from my deck, the fact that she's at 3,000... The fact that she's at 3,000, and if I wound up getting like 3 copies of her out, or if I'm lucky 4, and her power goes up to 11, if not 13, that's extra power going to the Vanguard, and that means it'll be harder for my opponent to block it, unless they perfect guard it. Now, the only downside to this deck is, for now, I don't have any grade 4s. That's the only downside with this deck. I will get grade 4s later, And I know the perfect ones I'm going to do. Don't leave any comments suggesting which ones, because this deck is not going to tournaments. Granted, no, let me take that back. It is going to go to tournaments one day, but it's not going to be competitive. Don't mistake me for anyone else. I'm not a competitive player, nor am I going to be either. If that's the only way I'm going to be able to win tournaments, well then forget it. I'm not going to tournaments, because I'm not going to create a competitive deck like that. I'm going to create my own very unique deck that is nothing like anyone else. So, if anyone has an objection with it, don't comment on his channel about my deck, just comment to me. Now then, I think I've pretty much got everything basic about my deck out of the way. But like I said, I will be getting Grave Force later. And I already know the perfect ones I want to use. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I think that covers everything I have so far.
Have a good. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a good day. And see you guys later.
Peace.